Guizhong was a god who lived over 3,700 years ago in Liyue, taking the form of a young woman with billowing sleeves. She was a very wise and kind god, but not as strong, so she teamed up with the god of Geo, Morax. Together, the two ruled the civilization known as the Guili Assembly. However, as the Archon War began, the area was flooded, and during a battle, Guizhong was slain, leaving Morax to take the people down south and create Liyue Harbor. Guizhong was a gentle god, as she looked after her people and vowed to protect them. Since she wasn't a very powerful god, she teamed up with Morax, and the two became best friends. While Morax was the brawn of the two, she was the brain. At some point, she constructed the machine known as the Guizhong Ballista, which protected Liyue for thousands of years, and was even used in the fight against Osile in modern times. She worked with the Adepti, especially the one known as Cloud Retainer, in engineering, and they both saw each other as very skilled. They even built the Realm of Clouds together. On top of engineering, she was also skilled in agriculture, and taught her people how to farm. Being a wise god, Guizhong wanted her people to live by a set of 4 commandments which would help her people prosper. Teach by wisdom, be bound by virtue, fortify the bones, unite in ambition. Those were the 4 commandments, but in the World Quest series Treasure Lost, Treasure Found, we travel to the Guili Assembly and read some stone tablets which expand on each commandment. Wisdom is like water. It nourishes all those who receive it, and in it is a reflection of the truth. Fortify the bones. That movement be supple when the time comes. Virtue grows tall like a tree. Though there be shade, it will flourish forever. To unite in ambition is to be steadfast and immovable for all time. At some point in the past, Guizhong and Morax met among the Glaciers in what is now known as Dihua Marsh. She handed him a catalyst known as the Memory of Dust and presented him with a challenge. This is the mark of our pledge, and it is also my challenge to you. All my wisdom is hidden within this stone dumbbell. There was no contract between them. They just happened to be walking the same path, and agreed to rule the Guili Assembly together. During this time, Morax had also carved a sword out of jade, known today as the Primordial Jade Cutter. It is believed that this weapon was intended as a gift for Guizhong, but after her untimely death, Morax used it himself during the Archon War. The Archon War began several thousand years ago when 7 divine seats in Celestia opened up. Throughout the entirety of Tevat, wars were waged and battles were fought for hundreds of years. Of course, Liyue was not immune to the effects of this war. The tales of Osile, the Yakshas, Havria, and countless other gods are still told to this day. But what I'll be focusing on today, of course, is how Guizhong and Morax were affected by this disaster. Near the beginning of the war, a battle occurred in the Guili Assembly. While trying to protect her people, Guizhong was slain. It is currently not known who she was slain by, but the lore from the Memory of Dust weapon does give us her last words. Those little people are as small and fragile as dust. Because they are so small, they know not when they will lose their lives to disaster or strife, and so they are afraid. Because they are afraid, they try so hard to become more intelligent. This I understand. So I thought that since there's such a gulf between us in strength, I should use technique and wisdom instead. With your brawn and my brains, this city would surely become a great one. Her final smile was a lovely one, even as her form dissolved into the finest dust. It seems that our journey together has come to an end. As for that stone dumbbell, forget about it, would you? This is the mark of our pledge, and it is also my challenge to you. All my wisdom is hidden within this stone dumbbell. If you can unlock it. Many years passed, and he was never able to unlock that dumbbell, nor would he learn what might have followed that sentence. Over the years, the wild glaze lilies too dwindled till at last they were no more. After her death, Morax took their people down to what is today known as Liyue Harbor. He defended his people, defeating and sealing away anyone that threatened them. He was ruthless during the Archon War, as he had lost his best friend. In modern times, Liyue Harbor is a bustling city with thousands of people. The people of Liyue have moved past needing a god, having sealed Osile, overlord of the vortex, beneath the waves of Guizhong stone forest once more. As such, Morax has stepped down as the Geo-Archon, handing over his gnosis to the Fatui, and living his life as the mortal known as Zhongli. Guizhong's memory lives on in Zhongli, with him becoming quite wise and extremely knowledgeable in all things. And while glaze lilies aren't as abundant as they once were, you can find one watching over the people just northwest of Liyue Harbor. As for more information about Guizhong, there's still much we do not know. For example, the in-game book Records of the Gallant Volume 2 is titled Dust, which has led some to theorize that the maiden in the indigo robe mentioned in this piece of literature is Guizhong. It could even be about Guizhong's death, as it mentions a pile of bloody dust being found. Either way, I really hope in the future we get a story quest with Zhongli, revolving around his time ruling the Guili Assembly with Guizhong, and perhaps we could get a glimpse of her in a cutscene as well. Anyway, that is all I have for you today. I really hope you enjoyed this video. I'm planning on making videos on more of the gods of old and other characters of note, so please stay tuned. I hope you all have an amazing day, and I'll see you all in the next video.